All right, it's Friday. We're wrapping with Reusse. You can also find Reusse Unchained on Mondays if you want like full length, like just an hour of Judd and Reusse just delivering their wisdom and takes. You can find that on Reusse Unchained. So last night, first game after the All-Star break, and Pat, I would put that in the capital B big boy win category for the Minnesota Timberwolves beating the Grizzlies at home.
I have several observations on that. I mean, I was complaining only about 10 days ago that D'Lo was taking those shots, yo-yoing with the ball rather than throw it to Towns when you got a chance to win the game at the end of regulation, and taking a lot of dumb shots. And last night, man, he was fantastic. I got another observation. Is John Morant the go-go Gomez of the NBA? He's dribbling around people and then he's limping back like he's just got shot in the leg every time. It looked a little over dramatized to me. He also was only 7 out of 19 or something.
7 of 25.
He did get hurt, right?
Yeah, he hurt his hip. Something happened with his hip.
Yeah, well,
but if he was that hurt, why was he? What's the point in playing him an extra 15 minutes if he's that hurt?
It really looked like Russell wanted to eat his lunch last night too. I think he kind of sees him as a rival, and he did go nuts in the fourth quarter. Well, what was amazing is Russell was so good. They let Cat sit there till they were the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, part of it was fouls too. I mean, he committed his fifth foul with, I think, 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I know, but what I'm saying is usually you'd say, okay, 7 minutes, let's go here. But they didn't need him because Russell was going nuts. And, it was a nice win, especially when it appears the Ant might have hit a wall here. He's had a couple of decent games out of the last 7 or 8, but he has not been good. And,
he's banged up. It's a long season. He's definitely.
And he played every game last year, but it wasn't quite as it was a 72 game season, right? And I don't know. He just looks like he's ran out of steam a little bit. I'm certainly not knocking his future or anything, but you're right. It's a long drag, man, and you can declare yourself Black Jesus one day, and then 2 days later go 2 for 13, and it can, it can get to be a bit of a burden. And I still go back to what my friend Terry Kunze says. Every time he shoots, I think he's going to miss. Anthony,
he doesn't.
He does not have that perfect stroke. When he's shooting threes, he can be hot, but it's not confidence causing shooting threes. I think he shoots too many threes. I think he should go to the basket more. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
His defense, though, I like the fact he keeps playing, because I've seen a lot of guys who if they're not having a good night shooting will basically say, okay, that's it, I'm done. I like the fact that he continued to play defense.
Yes, he did. And you know what else is worn out a little bit from all his battling? Vanderbilt too, I think, is and Fritz has basically been saying that for the last couple of weeks. He's that guy's everything he succeeds at takes a whole lot of physical beating to do, and he's kind of a lean guy, and he seems to be worn down a little too. But it was a good win, man. And what was the crowd? I didn't look. It sounded loud.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they have in the box score if they announced it here, but I do like that now they've taken D'Lo's advice. Let's at least do something. Let's start some tradition or something.
Yes.
So they're standing until it took the Wolves like 5 minutes of real time to score last night, but but they're getting into it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
The attendance was 16,326 last night.
And they got Harden's debut with the Philadelphia tonight, so that'll be pretty. That's here, right? That's
yes. Yep.
I looked at after looking at the soccer scores. I can't tell who's home or on the road. That was another tirade I was going to.
Philadelphia's on top, Pat. So yes, you're correct.
Top. That's the way.
You're correct.
When Moses received the tablets, that right there, athletic games, the home team goes on the bottom and the on the left. It's been that way ever since. Since we fought the Philistines, they were on top, we were on the bottom, right?
Yeah,
from the Coliseum. From the Coliseum. Where do we got them? The home team.
Yes, up here. Lions and Tigers, top.
Yep.
Humans, bottom. That was the home game.
Back in the Roman Coliseum days, when they would put a bunch of prisoners out to fight tigers and animals.
Yes.
Were the animals the home team, or were the? Because I would say the humans, if the humans were the home team, they weren't getting much of a home advantage.
I think we wanted the home team. I think we wanted the guys to live, and that would then give them their freedom. If they didn't get, they might have lost a limb or two to the Lions, but once in a while they lived. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way,
my NBA thing though.
Okay.
We have to do something about bitching at every call.
Yes.
We have to do something.
Including, and I love him, the play-by-play guy. Dave Benz, I love you. But every, it's the players. Jim Pete was noticeably trying to, not do that on the broadcast last night because it gets to be a lot. But
this is both teams last night, especially our guys. I mean, I said something. I said, They're at a torrid 86.5% pace in the second half for bitching about calls after their I think they got to start teeing guys up. I mean, it's just annoying. It's just ridiculous. Once in a while, there's a controversial call, but you got guys mugging people and then going, "What?"
I know. I'm straight up. Even though my body moved 5 feet into your.
I mean, they got to do something. It's people have always complained about that with the NBA, but I think it's worse than it's ever been.
Towns had a little bit going. He's been a lot better about it in the last 2 or 3 months, but last night there was a couple moments, and then what happens with him is he starts getting mad at calls, and then he gets into foul trouble, and he just starts kind of blacking out, and he'll fall on the ground and get into a tussle with somebody. It's like, dude, just let's.
Well, didn't he when he got his fourth?
Mm-hmm.
He tried to get his fifth immediately because he was so upset, and they blew a whistle for something else before he hacked the guy and would have gotten his fifth. He can still be a little immature at times.
That's the type of stuff too, Pat, that in the playoffs is going to cost him huge. Like you can't lose your mind. Like you've got to keep control.
He was just one of them last night. I mean, it wasn't like Cat was the worst. They were all, every time there was a call, Vanderbilt, all of them were that way last night. And so the other team too. I mean, it's just, complain when you got a serious complaint. And then the other thing is, if you had these morons making the decisions on when to review something, you'd waste your review 32 seconds into the game. These guys want you to.
Yeah, we got the. Yeah, right. We got to
hit a guy they can hit a guy with a karate chop in the throat and go, hey, let's review that one. I know they must drive you crazy if you're the coach because they want every call. It's amazing. They just. This is. Even wide receivers aren't that bad as NBA players are when they don't catch a ball. They only want it 60% of the time instead of 85, right? So
I will say though, just on the actual game, so I think that was the fourth. I think they split Memphis 2-2 this season. That was the fourth and final meeting, including a game in which they beat them by 40 points. Back in November or whatever it was. So they lost in overtime to Memphis. They beat Memphis by 40, and then they beat Memphis at home. They lost another game. But this last night should be even more incentive to sneak up an extra 2 games. If you can catch the Nuggets, avoid the play-in, and then you'd probably get a first-round matchup against Memphis.
Yeah,
and I'm not guaranteeing that they would beat Memphis in a series, but you can win some games against Memphis. Memphis is really good, but the Wolves seem to match up really well. So this should be incentive for them. Go catch Denver.
The big guy Adams has given Cat a tough time throughout his career, but last night he didn't. He just got him. He'll get himself in foul trouble if you end up playing them a long series, Adams. So I think he can beat Memphis. Memphis has really overachieved. I think And Morant's good.
Morant's the type of player. He's kind of like Westbrook, in that in the regular season, energy and everything, like he's going to score his points. But in a playoff series, can he beat you shooting threes? Probably not. If you can stop him from getting in the lane.
So it goes it goes 7-8. 7 plays 8, 9 plays 10.
Yes.
Whoever loses 7 and 8 just plays the winner of 9 to 10 to see if they get in, right?
Yeah. So you get 2 cracks at it if you're the 7 or the 8. You can win and you're in.
There's the Clippers are fading a little. The Lakers are playing a little better. There's a chance your 7-8 game is going to be the Lakers, don't you think?
I'd rather it be the Lakers because the Clippers might get healthy between now and then.
Kawhi's got no intention to play. Kawhi's got no intention to play.
But Anthony Davis might not be available.
Remember how
I'd rather play the Lakers.
Remember how you stole? They stole Kawhi in Toronto, and they did win. They did win an NBA title, so they're not complaining. But what happened to D Rose? DeRozan's unbelievable.
DeRozan,
what is it? 8 straight games with 35.
He's they showed a list on ESPN this morning. He's one of like 5 players ever to have, I think it's like an 8-game stretch averaging 35 points and 60% shooting, or just something. It's Michael Jordan, Shaq, and like Moses Malone and somebody else.
He was never that good in San Antonio. I mean, he was okay, but he was not like this. And it wasn't considered a big deal when they went and got him. He's been fantastic. He ended up starting the NBA, the All-Star game, right?
Yeah, that's a fun team. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan.
And another thing to complain about. What was wrong with East versus West? What's wrong with East?
I think what happened was,
I know who's on what team. I don't know who's on what team.
I think they overreacted. There were some games that, like, didn't someone score 200 points one year and they it was like a 50-point blowout. So they said, all right, this is turning into too much of a joke, and so I don't know. They might have overreacted.
I was in Vegas for some damn reason twice for NBA All-Star games, not intentionally. I just was there. But it's really something when you go to bet the over and under, and it's like 311. It's unbelievable.
And that might be low.
Every other, it is. I remember once being very disappointed because I think I had it at 311 or something. And at the halftime, it was 85-8, and I said, hey, I'm going to win. And then they ended up having a low-scoring second half, and it ended up being 305.
Nothing has jumped the shark in sports like All-Star games.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, they used to be okay. They really did. Yeah. But now they're just brutal to watch.
So the last 2 East versus West All-Star games, these were the scores. So, just real quick, to go back to, like, the glory days of All-Star games, the 80s and the 90s, the final scores would be 129 to 118, 130 to 125. Yeah, they would play a little bit. All right, the last 2 years of East versus West, the West won both games, 196 to 173, and 192 to 182.
Well, why would they be so much higher scoring?
I don't know. I think there was a disproportionate amount of talent in the West or something.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
Because nobody cared. They just scored at will.
What was the
like
first,
hockey became?
What was the first? Was the NBA the first one of them where they stopped guarding each other? Was it the first All-Star game that, like, then the Pro Bowl became we're not going to really tackle anybody, and the hockey became this wide open thing? I think the NBA probably started it, right?
And hockey went pretty quick though, because that one. Because the one that was played here was when, Pat, 2004 or 2003
or something.
3. Yeah. Anyway, there was no checking. Mm-hmm. It was basically like a men's league game of old men, checking.
Well, they probably came up with a better solution. I don't watch it, but the
it's bad.
3-on-3 thing is probably a better solution.
It's bad.
It's not. It sucks. It's terrible.
It's no good.
No. They play half speed.
Oh, really? Oh, so even 3-on-3, they play half speed?
They play half speed. They don't care.
The goalie should all say, I'm not playing this game.
Yes.
Why am I doing this? Just sit here and have you shoot pucks at me. We might as well have a drill. But, it's they're That's the only thing that's the only advantage baseball has in any form right now.
Hey, I want to ask you.
They came up with the big threat though to start canceling games.
Yeah.
Cancel
Honestly,
games
they
and
should.
they won't reschedule them. Oh no.
They should cancel a bunch permanently and just play fewer games and be done in September.
Everybody should do that. They're not alone in that area. That's for sure.
I want to ask you. So we talked about this a little earlier in the week, but I've thought about it more. I'm all in on 3 balls, 2 strikes. I know it's radical, but the fact that Jim Cott sort of brought this to light. Mm-hmm. So I'm not as, give us your thoughts on it. But my question to you is more, if they did it, which they won't, but if they did it, how would it impact the game?
That's the thing. In theory, the pitchers would have to throw it over, and the hitters, I'm not sure that we're going to get the hitters to swing more pitches, though. I'm not sure.
But then there'd be fewer pitches at least.
It'd be way fewer pitchers. But I don't know. Are we going to get the hitter to swing at the first pitch fastball when he only needs, when he's only got 2?
I think so. I think hitter.
Let's face it. Byron Buxton changed as a hitter when he stopped taking the waist high down the middle fastball for strike 1 in every at bat, and then fouled off the next one, and then chased the ball when it was over in the other batter's box because he didn't hit that first pitch fastball. Yeah. Would we have more people swinging early in the count? Now, I think you probably, though, you're going to get fewer fastballs on strike 1 on first pitch, aren't you? In this, for sure. I think
because hitters are gonna, in theory, hitters are gonna be more aggressive.
I got an advantage here. I can throw a slide. I can still waste pitches if it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. So
I think what I like about it is it just sort of forces pace and action.
Yes.
There's just things are gonna happen quicker. There's more urgency, which baseball needs.
And I told you, my son Chris, who Mr. Baseball, he's all in, on that. He thinks it's the only solution, and it might be. And you don't have to do it in the big leagues immediately, but why not do it right now in the American Association? I mean, in the AAA, and see what the result is.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they are going to continue to fight about Super 2. They're going to continue to fight about all of this crap that nobody understands and do nothing to address the ills of the game.
Yep.
The big thing is you got two guys who want to be the winner here. Clark wants to win because he didn't win last time, and Manfred wants to win because he's Manfred. And
exactly.
I don't know. It's what they have to do is look at websites that cover all sports and look at newspapers that cover all sports and see how much attention they are receiving for not having spring training.
Yeah.
They're receiving 3 paragraphs.
No one cares.
ESPN, you look at the ESPN menu on the cover, there's Premier League soccer is more likely to be on there than a baseball note.
And those scores are wrong.
Yeah.
Home team on the top. I can't even read the damn scores.
We look at it, we don't know who was in the home and who was in the road anyway.
Where was Man U? Old Trafford or not? I can't tell.
Or was it a neutral site game? I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you won.
I mean, really, it bothers me. That
I know it does.
When we
has for a long time.
ESPN, just because in Europe they do it that way, when ESPN starts running soccer scores, why do they feel the need to be so precious that they do it European style?
Listen, I know we're accustomed to the home team being in a certain place.
Yes.
No, don't confuse us.
America, love it or leave it. Damn it.
We have a lot of things on our minds in America.
Leave it.
Yeah. All right, Pat.
At least Donald Trump's happy today because Putin's winning the war, so that'll be make him happy. That'll delight that fella. So, how about my alma mater canceling the girls' basketball season?
Yeah,
did you see that?
What a note found in a gym bag or something by one of the players.
as one of the gym bags of a sophomore player who identified herself on Twitter or social media of some kind. There's a racist note apparently in her gym bag, they said. So I don't know. This is, we got the New Prague. Nobody's going to play New Prague because they got the fans chanting racist things at them, and now this. Oof. So not good. Not good.
And this is not a great time right now. We're not.
We're a little.
We're confused.
We're a little divided.
Yeah,
we're a little divided.
I think we're very confused.
At least we can all agree on Kirk Cousins. We'll talk more about that on
right.
Mackey and Judd today.
Yeah,
Kirk, hang in there, Kirk. And whatever you do, make sure they get a bigger quarterback room because you're going to need it this year with all. We had a big collaboration story in the Star Tribune today. Even Ed Donatel, 65 years old, is claiming to be all in on player empowerment.
I love it. I love it. Ed Donatel says, I am committed to learning from young people.
Yes. Well, I'm not. Hey, Kendricks, did you believe that Kendricks, as I saw, that he might get cut?
Yeah, there was a story sort of, I don't know if it was a report, but there's an NFL.com thing suggesting that he's 30 years old.
Yeah. Well, that'd take care of the whole empowerment thing because he was the guy that was talking. I think he's their best player when he plays, but maybe.
Yeah, but he's at that weird age, man.
Maybe it's the whole overpaid linebackers thing. So
yeah, it could be. All
right,
right,
gents, have a good weekend.
All right, see you, Pat. All right, and Pat's appearance here on Mackey and Judd in the Score North YouTube channel, presented by our friends at the Canopy Group. So last weekend you were inundated, or I guess 2 weekends ago now. You were inundated with countless home and auto insurance ads. They're on your side, right? Well, I would hope so. They've seen a few things. Well, that's obvious. You're in good hands, right? Or double check. What are they checking? These are all just sort of buzz phrases. What does any of it do for you? Nothing. They're all only one company with one agent, no options. Call the Canopy Group. Their message is clear. You get 16 companies and 40 professionals. The Canopy Group. All right, boys, that's wrapping with our friend, the legendary Patrick Reusse.